This is the intro to my video. Please subscribe. Woo! Hey everyone, welcome to Resin Crafting with Chris Collected. Today we have the last of the Desert Rain High Performance Epoxy Resin. And I was a little timid to show this one because this goes very badly. But I figured at the end of the day, it'd be a good cautionary tale. So, as you can see here, we have a little bit of this first one left. That's the hardener. We should not have any of this left. And this is the epoxy. So this is a 1-to-1 solution, meaning they should be equal amounts. Right about this part, I start to quickly realize, I don't think these are even. And I go, okay, let me just that's why I sped this up, because this was a good 2-3 minutes for me in real time. And I was just like, why? What is going on? These should be equal. Well, I was like, I have a little bit of this other one left. This should be no problem. Oh man. So if you ever want to know what happens when you put almost double the amount of hardener into an epoxy when you're not supposed to, and you mess up the ratio, stay tuned for sure. Well, let me tell you, it's not good. But all right, so we're going to get every last little drop I can out of this because I'm just like, I see some inside of the container, and I'm like, I need all of this into here. So we're just going to skip ahead until when it's all in there. All right, so at the end of the day, I did get, some resin, some hardener in there. And so let's go ahead and start this thing up. Now, at this point, I'm still 50-50. I'm like, I don't actually know what does happen to resin if you don't do it right. So I'm just kind of sitting there like, nah, this is probably going to work, right? I finally realized I need to turn that light on as well. So it's doing the same thing it normally does, which is at first it's going to be really streaky, and my hand's just definitely in the way, but that's all right. And then eventually it gets more and more clear. You can see in the left one, it used to be very yellow. Now it's like a beige or almost to a neutral color. But it should be clear. And so I'm like, okay, that is too yellow. But we're still going to do it anyways. And to be clear, this is a different one than the one we did last week. This is actually my first attempt at this mold, this word Scrabble type mold. Next week, we'll go ahead and finish up the actual one that I will be using, and I'll probably make 1 or 2 more in the next month or so. I have a big event called Epic Toy Con coming May 11th in Phoenix, Arizona, and I'll have this new board there. So I'm just dumping a ton of glitter. This is an ultra fine glitter. But I mean, with the amount I'm dumping in there, I was like, it's, it's going to sink. And then this is Shimmering Rainbow. This is technically, it says for soap or something like that, but it's glitter all the same. Okay, to add to the chaos of this video, my camera went out. This is an older video, and I was using, it only had 5 minutes of recording time, and I went a little bit over. But I did want to show you me putting in this rainbow because, again, I'm still so confident that it's going to work that I put in, I put in half of that thing into it. And I was like, oh, it's definitely going to work. No, it's completely unsafable at the end. This is also an interference color because I just love interference. If you ever just want it to be, I don't know, what's the word for it? Pearlescent is probably the best word for it. But it's so good. I love the interference colors. I just add this shine that you just can't get anywhere else. All right, as you can see, camera 2 is back. As I've been doing in all my videos lately, I put them into smaller containers, but I do not use all of it. So about half of it is still in clear form. This one is just clear and the rainbow. I knew that rainbow was going to, look so good. I was like, I don't need to do anything else in this. And if I ever find more of this, I'm going to buy it immediately. It's definitely ultra fine too. It looks good. And this is the red, the gold, interference, and the shimmering rainbow. You can just see how many particles I put in there to put so much glitter. All right, now let's. I definitely have not mastered this mold yet. This is the first time I'm using it. You've already seen the second time I'm using it. And both times, get ready for overpour. I think what it is, I went in so confident. I'm like, oh yeah, this only filled it up like halfway. Like, oh, let me just put some more clear in, mix it on up, and it'll be fine. As you see, I poured a little too fast. I mean, what does overflow even mean, right? That's what it means. Look at that. Look how much is in there. And then, of course, I, without even thinking, immediately push it over the edge. All right. So that's enough of that. Let's move on to the next bit. So I'm gonna take what I have left and make a potion bottle with it. If you see my channel in the last couple months, I love this. I got it from Craft Kitsune, and it's just a wonderful mold. I have some with like my pencils in it. I have some with like all the little bits you need for resin, so all the silicone pieces and all that kind of stuff I can store in there too. This mold you've seen as well. This is an awesome mold. It's half of a 3D star. And what's great about it is it pretty much takes no resin at all. Like, I only use like the stuff I scraped out and the little extra bits, and that's it. A little bit of extra clear that I had. Let's put that lid on. In squeeze. Yeah, that one overran too. I think every single piece went bad in some way, overfilled in some way. Oh man, sometimes you just don't nail it, you know? But that's what we do at the House of Improvements. We're here to improve. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and finish this up. I do go ahead and pour the mushroom. Then I went ahead and poured this self-love molds. Super cute. Got it off Etsy, I believe. Might have been Macari. All right, final, we have this bar. This is the bar that you would put the letters on. Remember, all of this is going to go terribly wrong. So stay tuned for the demolding. Well, I guess you could call it technically a demolding, more like trying to save my molds by taking this unusable stuff out. All right, stay tuned. Hello, and welcome to the demolding of, well, I don't know what you call it, but a experiment in failure, I guess. So this is my first real gallon of epoxy that I've gone through. And, you know, of course it was going to end badly. That's just how life is. And you can see here, looks beautiful, right? I mean, got this so bright red and all this little, like, crystal, like, clear on the sides. And I was like, ah, looks so great. But as you can see, no structure to this thing whatsoever. Look at that. Look how flexible. It should not be like that. If you have not seen a lot of demoldings, it should not be flexible. Or see how it's just like bending? Like, yeah, no. So I don't really know a ton about the science of epoxy resin, why one is called hardener, one's called epoxy and all that. But apparently, hardener is a softener if it's not done in the right amount. Also, just a side note, there will be no photos at the end of this because all of this got thrown into the trash can. Eventually, it just became a puddle. After the next couple of hours, like you can see, it looks really nice right now, right? But the more and more you touch it, it would just continue to stretch always. Even after a week, it was still stretchy. And so eventually I put it in a plastic bag, wrapped it up, and threw them away. I just felt that it was unsafe to keep like that kind of resin around. Luckily, I was able to recover all of these molds without any damage. I started doing that one, but if you've seen me do them before, I have to go get the soap and water, and then I'll be able to do it. I see the overpour just made them all into one big thing. There's a few that are by themselves. And man, doesn't that look so good? It would have been mostly clear with just so much of that rainbow. And then you can see it sticks to itself, too. But isn't that beautiful? I have to find more of this glitter because it is a great glitter. Yeah, you can see that one piece is stuck on the bottom and there's just no getting it out. Once it touches itself, it will just stick to itself forever. In fact, I have one of these on the bottom of a mixing bowl of mine and I cannot get it off. I went ahead and sped this little part up. If you would like to see this slower, you can always go into my Patreon and send me a little message and be like, hey, I want to see this in slow-mo or something like that, and we can do it for you. But yeah, as you can see, the mold's perfect. Mold took no damage at all. Which is such a relief, because that was a brand new mold. This is the first time ever using it. I was like, ugh, I'm so devastated when I break a mold the first time. Alright, now let's get this out. This is just soap and water. Squirt it in, move it around, squirt it in, move it around. Do it on a surface that can get wet because you're definitely going to have some overspill there. It's hard to describe, but as you can see, it's kind of like bowing as I do it because it wasn't solid. So it was like squishing as I'm taking it out. So I'm like, all right, let me go get another round of the water in there. But I gotta say, isn't it beautiful? So I put all that red in first, and so that's the top of it. And the base of it is mostly that interference mixed with clear and the shiny rainbow. So, you know, kind of devastated that this one fails in the end, because, man, isn't that pretty? Like, if I was going to make any resin pieces and sell them, it would be this mold. Doesn't that look great, though? It'd even come with a lid if you wanted a lid for it. It's a little cork that it comes with. But you can see, yeah, the base I wanted to show is clear as well. And then there's interference throughout all the middle, and then it just dissolves into the solid red. Ah, it's so cool. But over the next couple hours, it just collapses vertically. And then becomes like the top of it and the bottom of it are all one piece eventually. But yeah, thank you all so much. My name is Chris Collected with the House of Improvements. Remember to trust in yourself, honor yourself and others, and create a world that's safe for everyone. I'm so close to my 250 giveaway. Please subscribe. It is so worth it. Thank you so much, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye, y'all.